there and enjoy Cherokee Ridge, but fill out that bracket today. We want you to be a part of the 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bracket Challenge. You need to do that tonight. The NCAA tournament does get underway. You get the first four. You get two of the first four. They're in Dayton, Ohio, which, by the way, is a fantastic venue.
Yeah,
for basketball. But you get Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, and Southeast Missouri State. Corpus Christi is a 4-point favorite in that one. And then you get the SEC versus the Big East.
Oh, another tie right there.
Mississippi State and Pittsburgh. Mississippi State a 2.5-point favorite going into this one, but both of those in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, I knew it would pretty much be a pick-em between Pitt and Mississippi State. I like Mississippi State in this if they could make some shots.
Yeah.
I know Pittsburgh's a better, I think, offensive team than they are, but I'm not quite sure Capel's team is as good defensively or with Tulu Smith in the middle. I'm going to go with Mississippi State, and I'll be honest. I tried to do a little research on the Southeast Missouri State and the and of course the Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with SEMO here. I watched something on the field of 68 about them. Sounds like they're a team that lost 8 in a row at one point, but then got it rolling, and they're from the Ohio Valley Conference. Pretty good, mid-major league there, Scott. I know it's a change in the league because all this realignment. Yeah.
It is a changing league. Let me see here. I was just going to take a look at their schedule.
Yeah.
To see if there's any kind of – well, they did lose – they lost to Missouri earlier in the year, 96-89.
Well, 89, I mean, it's very competitive.
Yeah.
So.
And they've lost to Iowa, 106-75. They did have a stretch there where they lost a bunch of games. Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean.
But they seem to be playing their best basketball now. Of course, a lot of teams are. And then you get to this stage. But
they did go on a run in the Ohio Valley Conference tournament. They beat 8-seed Lindenwood in the first round. Then they beat 4th seed Tennessee State. Then they upset number 1 seed Morehead State. And then beat number 2 seed Tennessee Tech to win the Ohio Valley Conference.
And I'm just talking about just barely here because they thought they had a three-pointer made. It would have been Blake Gray and Tennessee Tech and Andrew Steele and John Pelfrey and all those guys might have been dancing here. And I definitely would have been picking Tennessee Tech. So I'm going with that. I'm glad you told me that again. So I'm going with Southeast Missouri.
Okay, so you would pick Southeast.
And Mississippi State.
I would.
I know people say, I was talking to somebody in our building yesterday, and I respect him, but he was like, "Yeah, we don't worry about these first four." But I mean, I kind of have to.
Well, no, I mean, I think so. That's the question.
I still don't know what's going to happen with this czar contest, but I've at least got to pick this bracket, and I haven't picked it yet. I've been asked already, have you picked your bracket? And I'm sorry, but I don't pick 4 brackets. I don't pick 3 brackets. I pick 1 bracket. I'm not picking more than 1 bracket.
So 256-576-4977.
Even if it's a disaster.
Do you really pay attention to the first 4 games? Because it's tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah,
do you care about the first 4? Does it interest you at all if you sit down and watch them tonight? Or is it one of those things where you're fine with just finding out the scores? Because
if you're a basketball guy, you like it. Okay?
Yeah.
And you just mentioned it in the first part of the segment. I'm sorry I started to interrupt because I haven't been there and you have.
Yes.
But Dayton is a great facility. It's historic, and it would be great to see a game there and see those games. And again,
it is fun. I'll tell you that.
And we've already seen multiple teams go to the Final Four from the first 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's people like Jay Billis, who I respect, is complaining, saying 11 seeds shouldn't be in it. It should just be like the final, 4 teams. Like it should be the 15s and the 16s and all this stuff. But I mean, they still get to the Final Four, and it gives teams like Southeast Missouri or Texas A&M Corpus Christi immeasurable exposure if you win.
Well, it gives them, because you're playing 2 games.
Yeah.
Instead of just going in and being the sacrificial lamb,
and even if you don't win, I'm going to
ask
you something because you said this on the show before, but you were there.
Yeah.
What did it mean to Alabama A&M to play in?
It meant the world.
Yeah, there you go.
It meant the world to them because it won.
Yeah.
It's been their one and only NCAA tournament appearance.
Right.
And it meant the world to them. And they nearly pulled it out against Oakwood.
Yeah.
They played Oakwood.
Oakwood out of Michigan.
Out of Michigan, yes. And they had a couple at that time. Now it's way more common. But Oakland had a couple transfers from Power
Oakland out of
5 guys that
Michigan.
had transferred down
Yeah.
to play for Oakwood that year.
Oakland out of Michigan. Yep.
Or Oakland. I keep saying Oakland. It's
yeah,
Oakland.
out of Michigan. Yeah, I know. What you're talking about.
But yeah, no, it meant the world to them because the fans there in Dayton don't care.
No, they don't. Yeah.
They treat it like it is the Game 7, or they treat it like the national championship.
And you're talking about
game.
like the fans are in the community that adopt these teams.
They show up in full force.
So was it sold out?
Oh yeah.
It was.
Complete. Yeah, it was full.
And
the A&M band put on a show.
Oh,
night,
of course.
And I mean, it was fantastic, and it
it's
meant
a trip
the
you'll never
world to
forget.
Alabama A&M. They did not. When they go there, let me tell you. I'll tell you this: the NCAA committee doesn't treat it any different than they do the other games. It's not like they cut corners or they treat. No, this is a full. They get treated like they are the number 1 seed in this whole thing, and it's
well, and you know me, Scott. We've worked together now several years, and I was getting my information. We are going to be there. On press row, looking forward to covering my first NCAA tournament. And, of course, I was very, very excited when I found out that, Alabama's regional in Birmingham is going to be by the main CBS crew. You know what I'm saying? On CBS, not True TV, not – And I'm not against
Alabama
those guys.
and Auburn get that treatment.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I wasn't – I like True TV. I like TBS. I like TNT, all this stuff. But the main CBS crew is going to be there. And Scott, that's Bill Raftery, man. Onions, a double dose of onions on Thursday and Saturday with Grant Hill and Jim Nance and Tracy Wolfson. That's some big time stuff.
Yeah, and you better and fans, if you are a fan of Jim Nance, soak it in.
Yeah, because this is it, right?
You better
this
soak
the last
it
one.
in. I think it is. Yeah.
Oh,
you better soak it in. Now we get what is it? Ian Eagle.
Iron Eagle. I like some Iron Eagle too. You know what? I was watching the last days of night last night on 30 for 30, which was Bob Knight crashing and burning because he never changed. He thought it was 1965 when it was 1992. And they kept coaching the same way with the same temperament, and had people covering up for him. You know the whole story. But anyway, and it's the Neil Reed. It was based around Neil Reed. But anyway, and so I'm watching that, and they're showing highlights of Indiana, and really after 1992 with Calbert Cheaney and those guys, Indiana until Mike Davis took the team over and was actually able to get the kids to relax, and they weren't just. By the end of Bob Knight's tenure at Indiana, the game was no fun. I mean, his teams were, they didn't finish strong because, again, he made everything so difficult.
Right.
But Mike, he took Jared Jeffries and all those guys to the national championship game. They lost to Maryland in 2002. And really, honestly, Bob Knight, he didn't do anything after 1992 when they made the Final Four and lost to Duke. And so they were NCAA tournament team, Scott, but as you know, they got drilled in the first round a lot or the second round. They never made deep runs. But
I think more people were more excited about what Bob Knight would say afterwards than they were about Indiana basketball on the floor at that point.
Well, yeah, but the interesting part is you're listening to games in 95, 96, and you can hear it in the background. Iron Eagle's doing it then. So he's been around now a long time. And he's an underrated voice, in my opinion, that I always look forward to seeing and hearing this time of year. So looking forward to his calls, and it brought back a lot of memories as far as basketball, though, and again, going to be interesting.
256-576-4977. That is the number to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. We want you to be a part of the program this morning. Again, the first four does get underway tonight in Dayton, Ohio. As for the rest of the bracket, again, make sure you head to our 977ESPN.com. That is our webpage. We want you to fill out the bracket. Be a part of it here at 977 ESPN, The Zone. Not everybody in college basketball is happy. Well, of course, not everybody. There is always going to be those that are not happy with the seeding, with the placement of the teams, where they're playing, who they're playing, and all that. Ask Calvin Sampson, Houston head coach, about that.
Don't really remember. I don't remember the 8-9. Who's the 8-9 in record? I don't know, bro. Where's that? Birmingham, right? So Auburn gets to play in Birmingham. Maybe we should have been a 9 seed.
Taking a shot at the fact that Auburn is an 8 seed or a 9 seed getting to play in Birmingham.
Yeah, well, Crimea River. You know, you've got a number 1 seed. You're supposed to be one of the best teams in the country. Maybe they should have put you. Am I a little bit surprised that you're in the Midwest instead of maybe maybe the East or the West region number 1 seed? Yeah, I think a lot of people thought Houston might be even the top seed in the East, but they weren't. That's the way it worked, and so. They kind of penalized Kansas for not having Bill Self and for losing their conference tournament. But at least he didn't say we should have been the number 1 overall national seed when the number 1 overall national seed whipped your ass in your own arena earlier in the season. So
the Midwest.
But Houston's a great team.
If Houston gets to the Midwest, it's in Kansas City, I believe.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying, because that's why a lot of people thought Kansas was going to be that seed because they would get to play in their backyard, even though they just got drilled in their backyard by Texas in the Big 12 championship game.
If Alabama comes through theirs, they would be in Louisville.
Yeah.
At the KFC Yum Center for the Sweet 16. The Midwest is Kansas City. The East is New York. And the West is Las Vegas. So those are the Sweet 16 sites.
Well, and either one it's interesting. If Houston had been either one of those, it would have been great. But again, because they're in New York or Vegas, that's not really close to Houston. So I guess that's why they gave them Kansas City. But give me a break, man. Auburn's got to win their game. Alabama's got to win their game. You can't. The worst thing you can do in the NCAA tournament to me is start. Okay, I think Alabama got a great draw, but to me you can't say who they playing in the Sweet 16, because the minute you start saying that crap, you're gonna get bounced.
Right.
You can't even assume with a 16 seed after what happened in 2018. There was 3 or 4 near misses, Princeton, Georgetown, all this stuff. But again, you cannot assume anything. Win one game and then worry about the next one. It's kind of like the Wimp Sanderson philosophy in the SEC tournament. Win the championship today. In other words, if you don't win today, there's no tomorrow. So you can talk about Alabama having a great draw, and they have one. Win the first game. Don't be worried about, oh God, we're going to kill Maryland. Oh Lord, we're going to smoke West Virginia. Worry about the first game and then get to the next one, because that's the first way to have disaster. Because then you're not keeping your eyes on the prize. It's a 1-game season from here on out. You don't get any mulligans, man. None. You've got to put 6 good games together, and during that 6-game run, there's probably going to be one you don't play at your peak level. In other words, shots don't go down, but you've got to defend, you got to rebound, and you got to execute. Especially when it comes down to the last 5 minutes of games, because that's a lot of times what happens in these NCAA tournament games. It's who plays the best after that last media timeout, who can have some onions, who can step it up and make plays.
All right, let's get our first break in. When we come back, 256-576-4977 is Talking Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Good morning from the traffic center. We're still working with a clean slate this morning. Traffic at a heavy level across the valley. Traffic level may be a little lighter than normal, but not much. We still got a lot of folks on the road this morning. Membership at the Y means more than a workout. They have swimming pools, lots of classes, and free child care. Special rates for the military and nationwide access. For a limited time, you're going to pay no joining fee at the YMCA, Madison, and Huntsville. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
Humphreys has a brand new team to take care of downtown Huntsville and a new menu to go with it. Check out Humphreys' new small plates like fried Brussels sprouts and fried green tomatoes, new street tacos, and the best pork chop in town. Not to mention shareable desserts made by our own pastry chef at the bottle. Best of all, Humphreys still has the best happy hour nightly drink specials and free live music. So get to downtown and get to Humphreys Bar and Grill, located online at humphreysdowntown.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Rambo Marine in Hazel Green is your one-stop shop for all things boating. Whether you are ready to surf with the newest Malibu wake boat or cruise on a Cobalt or Barletta pontoon, we have a boat ready for you and your family. Rambo Marine provides exceptional service second to none, so that you are ready to hit the water in no time. Stop by Rambo Marine today. We know boats. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that His mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Plenty of basketball to get to throughout the show, but we also have some football conversation to slide in there as well. And yesterday it did become official that Alabama's assistant coaches got their new contracts and raises. It all became official yesterday. In all, Alabama will pay their 10-man staff $9.17 million. That is up from $8.36 a season ago. Tommy Rees, by the way, the new offensive coordinator, his base salary will be $1.9 million with an increase of $100,000 each year. Kevin Steele will get $1.9 million to be the defensive coordinator for Alabama, and Robert Balla, the new inside linebackers coach, is going to get $350,000. Joe Cox will get $425,000. Robert Gillespie, the running backs coach, now is $625,000. Coleman Hutzler is $595,000, and your favorite Freddie Roach, he was set to make $750,000 with his contract expiring in 2024. He got another year on his deal, $775,000 for Freddie Roach.
Well, get better. That's all I'm going to say. Get better or get gone.
256-576-4977. Oh, that is the news there out of Tuscaloosa. Coach is getting some raises. Let's go to Brandon real fast. Good morning, Brandon.
Morning, Brandon.
Good morning. Speaking of getting some raises, the women's Alabama wheelchair basketball team.
That's right.
Back-to-back champions. Somebody over there needs a raise.
Yeah, it's 3 in a row. Yeah,
women for what they've done.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that to light. Alabama's been one of the leaders in adaptive athletics, and there's no question about that. And they've put a lot of resources into it, but both the men's and the women's programs have been very, very good.
Yeah, the men I think are ranked number 2 and get ready to head into their NIWBT tournament and
right.
NIBBT tournament. I think that's how you say it. But Ford Butcher and them guys over there, man, they do such an outstanding job. They've been given the tools, the facilities, and it just goes to show when people are motivated what they can do. So just hats off to those ladies. I got a ton of respect for them for what they do. I really wanted to get over there and see a game this year. I watched a few on the live stream, and I hope to get over there and bring the kids to see one next year. That way they can learn to have a little respect for people that have to work twice as hard.
No question about it. Go ahead.
I said, have y'all noticed that Reebok has brought back the pumps?
I have not noticed
that.
But I know they're retro in a lot of shoes. But I'll be honest, I have not seen that.
Oh, they brought back the pumps. I told the wife last night. I said they're bringing back the pumps. I was like, King of the Hill's coming back. I was like, Beavis and Butthead coming back. I said, it's the '90s all over again. I said, I can't wait. I told her, I may stop and pick up a pair of pumps on the way to the game on Thursday.
I have not seen. Yeah, that'd be. I remember when those came out, and yeah.
Oh, I remember how they exploded. Everybody remembers that. D. Brown at the dunk contest, man, for the Boston Celtics in the early '90s.
$120.
That's how much they are.
Pumps, yeah.
Half the time I thought they didn't work. Like I think I tried on a pair of pumps one time, but at the time though the technology was great, but.
Yeah.
Journeys is showing them for $99. I saw that.
Uh-oh.
This is on the Reebok site, yeah.
Okay.
This is on the Reebok. I didn't even know Reebok still was around, to be honest with you.
Well, they got bought. They got put in that under that Adidas-like umbrella or whatever, and I think they've kept the logo, but
I'm like, ugh. I'm going to pass on those.
Yeah, I remember when nobody's shoes blew up when that happened.
Yeah.
That was kind of the Zion Williamson shoe coming apart. What was that, 25 years before that happened?
Right.
I do remember when that happened, when the shoes blew up. And people at school, we'd be playing basketball, and they're like, man, I'm going to blow these shoes up. That was a big call sign there for that. But no, I saw that and just, I thought, wow, it was like, it's amazing when you live long enough to see the things that were cool when you were a kid start to come back around. And I never thought I'd see Reebok pumps again. Never.
No.
Yeah, it's you wouldn't think so, but like Scott said, a form of Reebok is still around, even though you kind of forget about it. But they retro a lot of stuff, and I'll never forget D. Brown. D was a role player. He was a rookie out of Jacksonville University, a smaller, like a non-Power 5 school. He was a really good player though. And he came out, and I'll never forget, that's when the dunk contest was actually good because, great players weren't yellow like the Old Yeller movie, where they say Old Yeller. They weren't yellow, and they weren't afraid to compete, and they would come out there and actually compete, like the Dominique Wilkins and the Michael Jordans and, all the great players would compete in the dunk contest and not worry about getting a hangnail or worry about being, load management and all this other crap. They would actually compete and stuff. And then D. Brown, he came out, and he was trying to make a name for himself, and it was brilliant. He came out, he had a Reebok contract, and he pumped his shoes up, and he covered his eyes, and he dunked the ball, and the rest is history. And he was never an all-star like NBA-type player, but it got him a bunch of notoriety. It certainly helped Reebok out, and he competed, unlike a lot of these whatever you want to call them now. Of course, I couldn't tell you.
Prima donnas.
That's a perfect word. But I couldn't give you. I challenged the czar with basketball a couple weeks ago. But I'm going to be honest. In the NBA, the czar would know more than me. I couldn't name probably 2 players on 5 teams because I don't really give a rat's ass about it. You know what I'm saying? I could care less because I was shocked yesterday. I was shocked, Scott.
What were you shocked about?
Because I was turning the channel. I was trying to find something to watch.
Yeah.
And for about 5 minutes, I watched some trash called NBA basketball. And it was the Minnesota Timberwolves on the road in Dallas.
Right.
And it's just shocking that I found out Luka Doncic and Kyrie Crybaby weren't even playing. I mean, these people are paying how much for the tickets, and both these guys aren't even playing? And I'm like shocked. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
But see, Drew, it's called load management.
I know, load management, which means load it into the trash can and then dump it out.
The most pointless thing in any sport ever.
In other words, I agree with Charles Barkley. The next
Brandon, thanks for the phone call, by the way.
The next collective bargaining agreement, please put something in there where these clowns will start losing their money.
I thought they were going to. I think they're trying to put something in there that if you don't play, there's a minimum amount of games that you have to play to be considered now for the awards,
right?
Like for MVP and stuff. So you're going to have to play in X amount of games, but it better be a lot.
Oh,
because if not, they're just all going to figure this out and do it. I do not like the way that's coming to the NBA. I mean, we're going to play for a night, and then we're going to sit a night because you know what? My left quad is tight. Whatever. I just don't want to play. Richard's with us.
What's
Good morning,
up, Richard?
Morning, guys. So, in other words, you guys aren't going to do the second hour. You're going to be on load management.
Yep,
yeah,
that's right.
We're going to get paid. Yeah, we're going to tell Wes we're under load management. we're stressed out, and we got to go eat breakfast. So we're not going to do the show.
We get an hour, and that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Actually, you probably want to miss the first hour so you can sleep a little bit longer. So you probably want to just work the second hour.
Yeah, we're just going to do the first hour because we're going to come in here and then we're going to get breakfast. Actually, you know what? We're going to pull that on Friday. We're going to get out to Metro Diner because we're going to be out there Friday, and we're just going to do the first hour, and then we're just going to shut it down so we can eat breakfast the second hour because it's Friday, and
we're gonna hope they got a pumpkin spice waffle or something.
It's show management. We're going to be done.
Yeah, and at the hour will be Scott putting us on like the camera so everybody can watch us eat.
Nope, we're done.
Yeah.
We're going to do that.
Okay, we're not even going to let them watch us eat, huh?
Show management. We're done.
It would be load management when you load all the food in.
Yeah, yeah, that's load management. Scott ordering half the menu. I need this, just like on the Andy Griffith show when Barney said he's not hungry and then he orders like 10 things.
You're talking about the first four or whatever they call this.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure I'll watch it, but I'm sure the Mississippi State game I will watch, and I'll even watch a little bit of the NIT because I think Vandy's the only SEC team in it. But I do a bracket with my family, and we pick the first four all the way through. These national ones, like I'm sure, like your guys, Pool and like the ESPN, they don't usually count that. But like I said, we do one with several of my family members, and we always pick the first four.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So,
yeah, we did too. And when it was bracket, we picked the first four because it was like they're part of it.
Yep. And I agree with, like I said, I agree with Drew too. Because to me, a team like especially a 16 seed, the only way you're ever going to win a game is to play in the first four.
Yeah.
You can say, and I mean, some of these guys may get a bonus too. I mean, the coaches may get a bonus because, if like you said, Alabama A&M going against Alabama or something, there's not much chance of winning, but Alabama A&M versus SEMO got a chance to win a game. One thing you were talking about, Dayton, I went to Alabama, played there when maybe Avery's first year.
Yeah.
But it was the 24 hours of basketball. So
yeah.
It was like a noon game on a Tuesday. It was packed. I mean, my buddy and I had to park probably a mile away. It was like a big deal. I mean, it was sold out, and we're going. It's 12 o'clock on a Tuesday. If it would have been at Alabama, it would have been half full. If that, on a Tuesday at noon during a work day.
Mm-hmm.
But it was packed. I mean, and they were there. Place was full. Student section was full.
Yeah,
they care about it. No, they do care about basketball there. I'll say that
they do.
Oh yeah. So it's like you said, it's a great place for the games, and like I said, I kind of pay attention. Like this one too. The first game is playing Alabama, so you would think that Alabama fans might want to watch it. I'm sure the team's watching it probably.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight. So see who they're going to play on Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Scott, I got one for you. I went and talked to Drew at the SEC tournament, but on Friday, Drew got to sit by Dirk next friend. He was stuck right next to the Texas A&M.
I was going to ask you. I saw Olin was there. Did you talk to Olin at all? Nothing. Okay. All right.
I asked better questions than him, too. I know you'll be shocked by that.
Hey, Richard. Hey, do it to you, Bubba. We are up against a break.
See you guys later.
Yeah, we got to get to Blake Lovell here coming up on the flip side because we got to talk more about this NCAA tournament.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon. It is going to look like a beautiful day, but temperatures are going to be well below average. Highs only climbing into the upper 40s and lower 50s. It'll be a cold night across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. You're definitely going to need to bundle up for the Wednesday morning commute. Looks like many of us are going to start the day in the upper 20s and lower 30s. Plenty of sunshine Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. Some of us could see 60 degrees. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We got a couple of wrecks reported now. Governor's Bend, that one reports as a no-injury accident. City vehicle involved, so it may take a few minutes to clear it. And we got one in Limestone County, Hayes Mill Road near Bick Jock Road. That one's reported with injuries, but now we're hearing a report that maybe it's going to turn out to be a no injury. Why not fly Breeze nonstop to Orlando, Las Vegas, or Tampa? $49 and up. What are you waiting for? You could book today at flybreeze.com. Seriously nice. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jeff, Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
I wanna thank you. Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hi, welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN Zone. 8 SEC teams are going dancing.
They are.
That is tied for the most. The Big Ten got 8. The SEC got 8. The Big 12 only got 7. So, what's the expectations for those 8 SEC teams?
And who better to ask than he's with Southeastern14.com. He wears a lot of different hats this time of year when it comes to March. It doesn't suck when your office is an arena and I'm sure it will be at some point in time this week. We'll find out which one in just a couple of minutes, but we're going to welcome Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14, the managing editor, back to the show. It was good to see him in his home base of Nashville at Bridgestone Arena for the SEC tournament. Blake, happy March Madness. How are you?
Yeah, doing well, guys. Yeah, it was good to see you as well, Drew. And, boy, this is quite an interesting setup this week when you have 8 SEC teams in. So I kind of like the fact that Mississippi State got put in the first 4 because they can get a little bit done tonight. Then, of course, the NCAA helped me out, I think, by stacking all the SEC games on Thursday. So, Kentucky's the only one that plays on Friday as of now, unless State wins. So, yeah, it's not too bad of a setup. So,
yeah, the SEC gets 8 in. One of those is an overall number 1 seed in Alabama. Do they have the most expectations on them?
Yeah, I mean, I guess outside of Kentucky, probably in terms of pressure. I think Kentucky's got a lot of pressure on them, even as a 6th seed, of course, as always. But, yeah, I mean, there's pressure on Alabama just because I think it's, you are the top overall seed. I think when you look at brackets that are filled out by people all over the world, I think Alabama's probably going to be right there, either in the championship or winning the championship for a lot of people, just because they have earned that top overall seed. And so, yeah, I mean, there's always pressure, I think, when you're playing in that kind of role. But, I think, as you guys know, and I'm sure Drew, saw it up close this week in Nashville, and this is kind of one of the things that we were talking about is I think you just watch the way Alabama's playing right now. They are fully embracing this. I don't know if villain is the right word, but
Darth Vader is what I call it.
Yeah, there you go, Drew. Like that, you can tell just by their, how they play on the floor, their body, like they are embracing this completely. And so, I think that the pressure may be on a team as a top overall seed, but it's not as though that they don't come out and sort of take care of their business. And we saw that in Nashville this week. And so, yeah, I'm very curious just to see kind of what Alabama can do in this South region. So,
and we've even talked about it. We'll see it tonight. What kind of shot does Mississippi State have in this first 4 matchup? It's, I like their chances if they can make some shots, but I guess that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, that's always the question with Mississippi State. I feel like you could just put that on any game they play. If they can just make shots, they can beat a lot of teams. And I think this is one where we've seen, I think the good news for Mississippi State is Pitt's not a good defensive team. Like they're not great on that side of floor. And so maybe if you can find a few extra opportunities, a few extra looks, that can help you. And of course, again, Pitt's greatest strength is that they're a pretty efficient offensive team. But I will also say that, I think it's one where you look at the experience on Pitt's side. I mean, there's a lot of guys there, that have played, a lot of minutes, whether it's Jamarius Burton, of course, Blake Henson, who was at, Ole Miss at one point. And guys like that, I mean, they've got a lot of transfers who's come in and, a lot of experience there. But, I do think with Mississippi State, it's kind of one of those things where more often than not, they make teams play the way they want to play. Mm-hmm. And they do make it kind of a grind. And, I think that's probably how they're going to be able to have a chance. To me, guys, this is one of those classic sort of ugly first 4 type games where, it may wind up being 60 to 58 or in the 50s, right? I feel like this is that kind of game. But like you said, Drew, it's just, can Mississippi State hit a shot? If Tolu Smith doesn't have his best game, I don't know that they win, because they need him to be great, just because they don't really have that consistent scoring elsewhere. So
8-9 matchups are the ones that are the hardest usually to pick. Arkansas and Illinois.
Interesting.
That to me is one that, is it just flip a coin and heads or tails?
It's flip a coin which Arkansas team's going to show up, though. That's the problem.
I mean, it's that to me there is one of the most intriguing situations.
Yeah, good luck on this one, because we did our preview yesterday, and I told Chris, I said, Chris, what do you want me to say? I said, this is, and in all honesty, guys, like let's really think about this. You could replace Arkansas with Auburn, with Kentucky, with Tennessee. I feel like those 4 teams, we could almost say the same thing about. Which team are you getting? Because if you get the good team, those teams can win multiple games in this tournament.
Yeah.
Now, if you get the team that is not so good, they could get beat by 10 points in their first round game. And I think you could say that about all these teams that are, and I know that I hate to say it for Tennessee fans because they're a 4 seed, but like that's the case. So I mean, Arkansas, to me, like you said, it's at their best. And this is another thing, Drew, just me being in person, being able to watch some of these games.
Right.
You look out there and you look at Arkansas, and I sat back and I'm like, this is the number 10 seed in the SEC. Like, there is no way, talent-wise, this is the number 10 seed. Like, you just watch them play, and they're like, there's a ridiculous amount of talent out there on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But it's can they put it all together? And that's it. Here's my issue with Arkansas in this game is they have a lot of guys. Nick Smith's young. Anthony Black's young. They've got other guys who have played before, but this chemistry, not necessarily maybe. But on the other side, you've got guys, Terrence Shannon, who's been on a team that's made a run in the NCAA tournament at Texas Tech. Matthew Mayer's won a national championship at Baylor. Those kind of things would worry me a little bit. These guys have been in this spot before, and this is kind of the game of expectations. Both teams really didn't meet the expectations, I think, that were set on them coming into the season, and it's just a matter of seeing what do you get. And I think Arkansas at their best is better than Illinois at their best. But is that what you're going to get from Arkansas? No clue.
Well, we saw it up close, Blake. A great first half against Texas A&M, 38-25, and then the biggest turd second half we saw, 42-23.
Yeah, and I mean, I think there's so many things, and I don't know if you saw the tweet I put out, Drew, but it was once that game started to swing, it was very clear what was happening.
Yeah.
What happened was Arkansas started taking jump shots. And when Arkansas starts taking jump shots, that's a bad formula because this team just cannot shoot. And so they could not hit anything outside the paint. And I think that's, again, for Illinois, I'm curious to see what they do defensively here because if you force Arkansas to make shots outside of the paint and not just dribble in, shoot layups, get fouled, go to the free throw line, that's a much easier path to success than it is to let Nick Smith do whatever he wants to do, Anthony Black do whatever he wants to do. Don't get me wrong, they can hit a shot outside occasionally, but I think the path to beating Arkansas is to force them to take a lot of jump shots because, history just sort of tells us this season that they're just not very good at that. So,
Tennessee has Louisiana.
Tough matchup.
4-13.
Yeah.
Kentucky has a tough one with Providence. Are either one of those playing after the first weekend?
I don't know because like you said, I think that Jordan Brown in Louisiana, that's a team. If you don't know about them, right now, they could give Tennessee some trouble once again, depending on which Tennessee team that you're getting here. And I think one of those things too, guys. Again, just being in person, I think to me it was very clear watching Tennessee here in Nashville. It's different watching on TV sometimes, but just seeing them, they missed the Kai Ziegler. I think we say that, but you can definitely tell when you watch them play right now, they absolutely miss the things that he brings to the table. And so I think it will be an interesting matchup against Louisiana. Obviously if Tennessee gets past that, they're probably looking at Duke. That's another one. I don't know because I think those are, two teams that they could be pretty even in some areas. And so I think Tennessee – Kentucky's the one, obviously. I did a podcast last night with the guys from Providence that run one of their sites there, and they said, look, what do you think is the biggest thing that would worry you about Kentucky in this matchup? I said, for starters, it's just which Kentucky team are you getting, but also what Providence has, they have a lot of different guys who can score. And I think my issue with Kentucky at times, and you guys have probably noticed this is not a great defensive team. And Cason Wallace is really good on the perimeter, when he's at full strength. But defensively, even Oscar Tshiebwe, right? He's a great rebounder, but I don't know that you would say Oscar Tshiebwe is just a great defender. And I think when you look at what Providence could do, kind of to slice and dice Kentucky with just the different guys that can score, that would worry me a little bit. And I do think there's pressure involved, right? There is 100. You just lost to St. Peter's last year.
Bryce Hopkins too. Yeah,
and Bryce Hopkins is there. I call those guys. This is like the former, this is the all former SEC team. They've got Bryce Hopkins there. They've got Devin Carter, who's at South Carolina. They've got Noah Locke, of course, who was at Florida at one point. It's just kind of crazy to look at all these players that came from the SEC, and here they are, potentially teaming up to try to take down Kentucky. So, I don't love Kentucky's first round matchup against Providence. I really don't, because Ed Cooley's teams too, you guys know. They are usually a very tough bunch. They will be physical. And I don't know. Kentucky to me is probably, if I had to say which one I think has a tougher chance to get out of the first weekend, I think it's probably Kentucky. So
Yeah, well, and then we got to ask you about the Scott Tyson Bowl here. We got to ask you about Iowa.
Yes.
In Birmingham against Auburn and in a road game de facto. What do you think about this? Because Iowa can score.
They can score, but they shoot the ball so much differently away from Carver that it's not even funny.
Right.
I mean, it's like a 15% percentage difference.
They've got Murray, who's probably the best player, but does Auburn have the better team, Blake?
Well, it's funny. Chris and I did our preview video yesterday, and we actually we did it twice because the first time we did it, I picked Auburn. I said, Chris, I just don't know if I'm going to pick Auburn. And so we redid it again, and I'm like, all right, Chris, I'm probably going to pick Iowa this time. But by the end, Chris had convinced me to pick Auburn because he used the Birmingham element. He said, look, this is basically a home game. I said, I get that, but they're not playing in Neville Arena. Like, I get that they're playing in Birmingham.
Right.
But Auburn also has not shot the ball well outside of their own arena, even though, let's be honest, guys, Auburn's actually shooting it better right now than they have the entire season. I don't know. I think my hesitation with Auburn here is, and one of the things you guys just talked about, like Iowa is a much different team scoring-wise away from home, but my hesitation with Auburn is I almost think that win against Tennessee sort of made us forget just how bad they've been the past, month and a half or so now. I mean, this is a team that's lost 9 of 13 coming into the NCAA tournament.
True.
And it's one thing to say, all right, well, they've just lost some close games. Yeah, but they've lost some close games. Like, I mean, how am I supposed to sort of be in that? I mean, here's one thing I noticed, guys, looking at Auburn yesterday, and I didn't realize this until I really went into it more. How many really close games have they won this season? Now, they've won some,
yeah.
But most of the games they've won, I feel like, blew out LSU, blew out South Carolina, blew out Georgia, blew out Missouri. Games like that, and blew out Washington. Like, that's my concern. They haven't been able to sort of get over the hump in winning some of these close games. The one that stands out the most probably is the Northwestern game, which was in November, 43-42. But that, I'm not sure, and that's why I think these 8-9 games are so tricky because you never know what you're going to get because these are usually the land where teams have just been inconsistent. And I don't know that I feel as strongly about Auburn's chances, even though it's in Birmingham, as maybe some other people do, just because, again, maybe it's a case where I've just watched them too much and I've seen the bad. And even though Iowa doesn't shoot it great away from home, I still think with their scoring ability, I'm just not sure. I think this is one of the tougher games to call in the first round.
And finally, as we're wrapping it up with you, some thoughts on Texas A&M. I thought they were underseeded. I think they're better than a 7, but it's a tough draw for them.
Yeah, boy, Buzz must have made somebody unhappy there because I don't know in what universe Texas A&M is a 7 seed. And not only that, they get stuck with one of the hottest 10 seeds in Penn State. And then they got to play Texas, who just trounced Kansas potentially in the second round. It's a tough draw for A&M. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this game to Penn State. I just, what have we always said about A&M this year? It's just a team that really has done a great job getting to the free throw line. But we know what Penn State can do too in terms of just shooting the three. And it's trading 2s for 3s, and I think that's going to be very fascinating to see what Buzz does defensively. To guard this team, because Penn State, again, a team that is very efficient, shooting the ball, they don't turn it over, and that's the kind of teams, guys, I love in the NCAA tournament, teams that just do not beat themselves, that know how to take care of the ball, can make tough shots at the right time. I think this is just a tough draw for A&M, and they were a team, honestly, I was saying 2 weeks ago, I said, boy, I could see A&M in the right bracket. I mean, they are a Final Four type team, but holy cow, I do not love this draw where they're placed as 7. So.
Well, great stuff from you, Blake. Let everybody know how to connect with you and Chris. Y'all are going to do a great job throughout this 3-week run tracking the SEC.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Southeastern14.com. You can find it there. Go to YouTube, search for Southeastern 14. We've already got half of our videos up previewing each of these games. Yeah, Mississippi State, Pitt. We've got Auburn, Iowa, Arkansas, Illinois, Missouri, Utah State. Obviously, we'll have the other half today, kind of looking at all of them. So find it there, and everything else, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheBlakeLumble.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Blake.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's get a break in. Wrap up hour 1 next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We got a couple of wrecks reported now. Governor's Bend, that one reports as a no-injury accident. City vehicle involved, so it may take a few minutes to clear it. And we got one in Limestone County, Hayes Mill Road near Bick Jock Road. That one's reported with injuries, but now we're hearing a report that maybe it's going to turn out to be a no injury. Why not fly Breeze nonstop to Orlando, Las Vegas, or Tampa? $49 and up. What are you waiting for? You could book today at flybreeze.com. Seriously nice. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jeff, Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. Now's the time to order your spiral cut honey glazed ham or turkey for Easter from Apple Lane in Decatur. Or maybe consider ordering the family meal deal for Easter that includes an Apple Lane ham, a dozen rolls, sweet potato dumplings, potato salad, and Apple Lane's award-winning banana pudding. If you're hosting a corporate event or just a group of friends, Apple Lane has you covered. They have all kinds of box lunch and party tray options. To order for Easter or anytime, log on applelanefarms.com. Apple Lane on the Beltline in Decatur.
Last minute shopping? Good thing Ulta Beauty's first on your list. From gotta have it ready to go kits from Fenty and Benefit to cult favorite mascaras to simple yet perfect Ulta Beauty gift cards. We have gifts everyone will love this season. So get shopping, because our kind of holiday is you having your kind of holiday. Hurry to an Ulta Beauty near you or buy online and pick up in store. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court, to the rack, and the plunge.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, DeArmond with you. Short time here left in hour number 1. Again, though, if you are just joining us, make sure you head and fill out our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bracket Challenge presented by Talent Heating and Air. We want you to be a part of the challenge. We want you to be a part of it. It's fun. And we'll be out and about watching some of these games on Thursday and Friday. So it should be a good time as we draw. Now, coming up tonight, the UAH Chargers back in action as they look to get into the Elite Eight. Got to win tonight. They're in the Sweet 16. Got to win tonight, and they're going to be in the Elite Eight. But they got their hands full. They got number 1 Nova Southeastern.
32-0.
Not just number 1 seed, but the overall number 1 seed, the number 1 team in the country. The good news is they've already faced them once this year.
No, they saw first game of the year. It's ironic. First game of the year, and now the biggest game of the year. And so it's almost like Duke UNLV in the same season, where you played them once, they won by a significant margin, and now you've got another chance to beat them. It's a 32-0 team, and I believe UAH is 27-7 now, Scott.
Yeah, there's always a time that 0 can become a 1.
Exactly,
so, always a time. And
as Christian Laettner always said, great teams can be beaten on any given day, and then adios amigos. I mean, it's probably after the Kentucky shot, his best game was against UNLV, and it was glorious. Glorious.
Some of
watching
those.
Duke beat UNLV.
Man, Jerry Tarkanian. That was some good stuff, though.
No, they were a great team.
That was some fun. That was some fun basketball because, I mean, Duke was at that point. Duke was starting to win at a high rate, and so there were people that were beginning to have a little Duke fatigue.
Well, no, Duke, I mean, think about it,
They were
though.
starting to win at that point. I mean, they weren't there yet, but
Duke
they were
had never won one until
Right.
91. You know what I'm saying? Because they got drilled. They had lost in 86 to Purvis Ellison. Then they get back in 90, and they just get smacked. They were getting to the Final Four, but not winning. Everybody was
Right.
talking about, is Coach K ever going to win one? And Duke was and they should have been going in a definitive underdog. Freaking UNLV was undefeated.
And UNLV was like the bad boys of basketball.
And you don't see that anymore. Like all those UNLV dudes came back. In this climate, they would at least half of them would leave.
Half of them wouldn't even have made it through year one. I mean, it would not even through year one. They would have made it through year one.
I mean, Larry Johnson came back. I mean, that dude was a monster before his back gave out. And then Stacey Augmon, he was like Herb Jones before Herb Jones. I mean, he had Plastic Man. He was unbelievable. Anderson Hunt could shoot it. Greg Anthony was a great point guard, underrated actually, and he fouled out in that game, which was huge. George Ackles was the center. I mean, I can name that starting five to tell you how good that UNLV team was.
And Larry Johnson, remember his shoes?
Yeah, they were
Converses.
Yeah.
Grandmama, yes, Larry
Family
Johnson.
Matters with Steve Urkel.
I remember that. Larry Johnson and Brandon got us on the Reebok pumps, but Larry Johnson got kids into Converse. All right, that's hour one in the books. When we come back, hour two is going to get underway. John Shulman going to join us from sunny Paradise, Florida.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com.
NCAA tournament tips off today with the first four in Dayton. Mississippi State laying 2.5 against the Pitt Panthers. The total 132.5. Southeast Missouri State, a 3.5-point dog against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. The winner will get Alabama in Birmingham on Thursday. In the NBA, Milwaukee laying 1.5 at Phoenix. It's Orlando, a 6-point favorite at San Antonio. In the NHL, Philadelphia Flyers at $1.55 dog at home as they look to end a 3-game slide. Vegas at $1.75 road favorite. Boston Bruins laying $4.30 at the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm Mike Sennett. For your free VSiN subscription, hit the subscribe button at VSIN.com.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. And you know what? Last week I had a tremendous opportunity, and that was to work for the NCAA in Indianapolis, and it was so much fun, and I had a blast doing it. And even though I lost my voice, I still had a tremendous opportunity. But my heart though broke because that meant I could not be with UAH on their road, and it's been a heck of a road. I love those kids. I love doing that, but it had to be in Indianapolis. But I tell you what, I'm going to be following it tonight. I guarantee you on that as they take on number one team in the country, Nova Southeastern.
Yeah, and we got a very happy coach on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline with us. Hopefully I'm not a jinx anymore because they turned it around and they won it when it mattered the most. They drilled West Alabama to get to the championship game tonight of this regional in the Sweet 16 to try to get to the Elite Eight. They're going to take on Nova Southeastern, and you'll hear that tonight at 6 o'clock with the great Steve Moulton on the call, and it is the UAH Chargers, and John Shulman is joining us for his weekly visit. Coach, congratulations. Great opportunity for your guys tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I feel like we've been down here a while.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is good. I'm fighting a cold and a sinus infection, I think, right now, but we'll survive. Listen, I don't know about drilling West Al. I don't know where that came from. We were down 8 at half there, Drew. Listen, we have played really good basketball. We have played inspired basketball. C.J. Williamson has given us a great lift.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
It's been a lot of fun watching C.J. play. Just coming down here, we weren't, we thought we could get to Tuesday night, but we weren't sure. Embry-Riddle beat us twice last year, and that was going to be a tough one to get through, and we got through it. And then you got West Al coming in there after just winning the GSC tournament, up 8 at half, and we went on a 31-5 run to start the second half.
There you go.
And here we are. We had a great day yesterday, and hopefully we can muster up enough energy tonight. Tonight's going to be very difficult. Nova is 32-0. We opened with them this past season without CJ. We had no idea CJ just hurt his foot. That was our first game of the season. Costa was hurt, played 8 minutes in the game. We got beat 20. Just to be honest, it's one of their closest games they've played this year. They are averaging 104 points a game, and their opponents are scoring 76. They have a plus 28 differential. I've never seen anything like it. And literally they've played in maybe 2 or 3 single-digit games. Everything else has been a 25, 30-point game. They're fantastic at what they do. They're opening up more stands tonight. It's going to be sold out, standing room only. Now I understand why you want to host that region. But it's going to be an incredible atmosphere tonight, and our kids are really looking forward to it and excited, and they've earned this opportunity, and we're looking forward to it.
When you go back to that first matchup, the very first game of the year, teams improve. Teams go through a lot of things. You mentioned Jack Costal was injured. He didn't have CJ at all. How have you guys kind of improved, though, from game one to game now? I mean, I've seen it, but I mean, you guys are not the same team as you were when you played them in game one.
No, we didn't. You don't know game one. You don't know what you're going to be like and how it's going to be. And we thought we knew, and then CJ got hurt. And now we had to readjust. You don't readjust in one day. Listen, we played Dane at the 5 that day. We played Thurman at the 5. We played Saylor at the 5, and we played Tanner Schulman at the 5 that day. We were lost. We didn't have any idea what we were doing because we got thrown into a mess because of CJ. And so we adjusted, and we adjusted through the year. We started running better offense, and that's been the key. We've run really good offense, and it's helped us defensively, just to be honest. And we played probably one possession of the zone against them the first time. I would say they're going to have to see an awful lot today. they're 32-0. They're going to have, 4,000 people in there tonight, standing room only, and they're number one in the country, and they have to win. So last time I checked, I love being the underdog. I love putting pressure on people. They're going to have to make a lot of shots against us. We just got to be handled. They've really, literally got the best press in the country. They press off makes. They press off misses. They are the definition of relentless defensively. And we're going to have to show great composure and not blink. And but we worked on it an awful lot yesterday. I said going into the Nova game, the first one, we're in good shape because we got the cheat code. The cheat code is C.J. Williamson. And I said it, and I said it, and I said it, and we go down there, and C.J.'s in a boot. Mm-hmm. And this time we have C.J. Williamson. And we'll be able to get it to him against their press. And we just added another ball handler, which is good. But we can't go crazy tonight. We can't. If we try to play 100 to 102 game, we're going to have a tough time. We're going to have to, you break the press, and it looks inviting, and that open three, and that open lane to the basket, and you fall into a trap that you just play like a bunch of wild people. And I tell you what, they don't want to guard in the half court, so that's why they press. So we have to make them guard in the half court.
Well, and Coach, it was awesome to see CJ. I saw the highlights, and quite frankly, I was stunned that I saw them when you guys beat Embry-Riddle, and so I knew he would play hopefully the next game, and he did, which means he felt good. But what kind of jolt of adrenaline was it for the guys to see CJ out there and give you good minutes and play well?
Well, more than just helping us win a game, CJ deserved to finish his career here on the court.
Right.
And most importantly of anything, we all kind of talked about it, and I said, if he goes out there and he does poorly, that's fine. At least he's out there. And he needs to finish his career in a uniform on the court. And that's what he did. But he gave us a great lift. You could see the rust falling off of that first game. And he played, he played really good against West Al. And but everybody's stepping up. Everybody's played good. We just got to step up in a major league way tonight. We got done beating West Al, and we're focused on Nova. And I said, guys, we just beat West Al by 16.
45 to 21, second half.
Yeah, we just kind of forgotten about it because we move on to the next one.
Yeah.
That was our 27th win with a team that played without their best player the majority of the year. And we're playing for an Elite Eight appearance tonight. And if you asked every one of our kids, I would say to the last one, they would say, we're going to win tonight. And that was the whole goal as coaches, to try to convince our guys and give them a game plan that they really feel like that we can win the basketball game. No one's beat them. They're 32-0. They are literally, I would say, 64-1 their last 65 games. They're really a special basketball program, and there's a lot of regions out there, guys, that the number one seed got upset, and we just happen to be in the region with the number one team in America.
Well, you go back to that West Alabama game, and when they were in Spraggins, it was almost kind of a role reverse. They came out in the second half and dominated that game, got the best of you guys. And I kept thinking to myself, watching the live stats of that game, thinking, this is just this is UAH doing a role reversal to West Alabama in that game.
Well, we've talked about it a bunch. We don't like losing. And we have a bunch of redemption games, and we call them redemption games. And tonight's a redemption game. Just to be honest, Nova whipped us. We played a tie game in the second half, 43-43. We were in good shape. We were down 8 with about 2 to play, and in the first half, and they went on a 12-0 run, literally in about a minute and a half. That's how their spurt ability is amazing. So we just got to hold our composure and just do what we do. And like I said, we need to. They need to be scoring in the 70s and the 80s tonight, not in the hundreds. I don't think we can beat them if we just make it a crazy game like that. So we have to be smart. We have to be mature, and we got to handle our business.
And in other words, Coach, I would think you'd have to limit their transition opportunities and make them execute in the half court offensively.
If we can do that, the problem is those pick sixes in basketball. So those live ball turnovers, that you cannot guard. You know, that you throw it away against the press because you freak out. That's what happened to West Georgia the other night. West Georgia got beat 30 by Nova in the semis. It's those live balls turnovers, those pick sixes that you can't do anything about. You know, you'd almost rather, as they're pressing, almost take a 10-second call or just chuck it to the other end, and so you're not just giving them 2 points. They make 10 threes a game. They're very good shooting the ball. They make 10 threes a game, but do the math. That means they score 74 points in other ways. And so we've got to take care of those 74 points. We got to keep them off the foul line, keep off the glass, keep them out of paint, and then we just got to make it 10 minutes to go in the game. It's got to be a game. It's got to be a tight one. Mm-hmm. If it's a tight one with 10 to play, we got a heck of a chance to win a basketball game. They don't play in basketball games. They haven't played in a game. Now, you play in a game with an Elite Eight berth on the line at your place, it can get a little tight. It can get a little scary for you. So we've just got to be able to make it a basketball game with 10 to play.
Mm-hmm. And I even compared it, Coach. I know this wasn't in the same season, but I remember when it wasn't a game in 91 with UNLV and Duke, or in 90, UNLV and Duke, and then in 91 it was a game and Duke made the plays. You guys, this is the same season, but it's ironic. It's game one to now the biggest game of the year, but you got to kind of flip it the same way Duke did.
Well, the nice thing about playing them, if you don't play them, just be honest, the first 10 minutes of the game is out of control because you don't understand the speed of the game and what's going on out there. It's crazy what they do. And so we've already played them. We've already been there, done that. And we got great film from that game and great tape. So I love showing our guys film from the games that we've played. And so you can't, simulate what their pressure's like. You can't simulate their press unless you play against it. And we've played against it. So the best thing we got going for us tonight is that we've played against it. And just be honest, it's not even out there yet. We're going to play them tonight. Winner moves on. We're also playing, we open with them next year, the next 4 years, actually.
Whoa. Wow.
So they'll be up at Spraggins Hall here soon. But we're going to open with Nova the next 4 years in a crossover. Listen, if you want to beat the best, you got to play the best. You got to learn how to beat the best. So that's why we wanted to play them this year. And now here we are in March playing them for a chance to go to Evansville, which is absolutely amazing, exciting, and invigorating.
And we're looking forward to it. And, Coach, I'm just asking, am I allowed to come to that game against Nova next year?
It just depends if your boy. I'd rather your boy bring a picture of you.
Okay, he asked that. He just asked that via text. He said they need a life-size cutout.
Yeah, I would rather I think you're more fun in picture form.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right. I respect that.
We're missing you down here, man. We're missing you. Steve is by the pool.
I know.
Got his shirt off.
The restaurants are really missing.
Look, it tore my heart, but the opportunity I had last week was so phenomenal that I couldn't pass it up.
Well, I bet you saw a lot. I bet you saw a lot of Speedos up here at the NCAA tournament swimming. Correct?
I did, but you know what though? It was I pride myself in it, but for like 3 seconds, I got to meet the commissioner, so my life was. You know what? I was riding high last week. But no, it kills me that I am not there. It really does bother me.
You look at Steve Moulton in a Speedo down here by this pool in Fort Lauderdale, it'll make you want to go to Indy for a swim meet.
See, yeah, that's a bad image even now.
Well,
yeah.
No, we're having a great time. It's been a great experience. We need to finish it off.
Yes.
And it's going to be very difficult. But that's, if it was easy, everybody would do it. There's only 16 teams playing in the country, and we're one of the 16. We just happen to be in a very, very good region with the number one team in the country. So if you're going to win it, you're going to have to beat them sometime, and might as well be tonight.
Yep. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man.
All right,
You're right. Absolutely.
Well, good luck tonight, Coach.
Good luck, Coach. We appreciate the time.
And what do you always say? Go punk them?
Yeah. Listen, we're either going to punk them or we're going to get punked.
Yep.
And that's what they do. And they punk you. And but we've already been through it. We've already been punked by them. And so let's see if we can get that ball in, and let's see if we can run offense and not get punked to take a bad shot or something crazy to help them start a run. So we're going to have to show great maturity tonight. But we have a mature team. We start 4 sophomores. Very mature team.
Well, one's a redshirt sophomore and very talented, but yes, sir.
Yes.
So what's crazy is we start 4 sophomores, and we're like supposed to be this experienced team. We're doing some neat things. Excited for the kids tonight, and appreciate you guys as always.
Thank you,
Thanks, Coach.
It's John Shulman.
All right, y'all be good. Take care.
Today's interview brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. Give them a call, 256-881-5151 to experience that SportsMed difference. It's SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center dedicated to, I keep thinking of Steve in the pool. I can't read the stupid
Read it. Show some toughness here.
I'm trying to, but he put a painted picture in my
He
mind.
wants me to have a life-size cutout at the place.
He's trying to portray Steve in a Speedo.
I'm not thinking about that. I mean, come on. I'm thinking about if UAH won the game, I'm wondering if we could have a race where the UAH gets on the plane and Steve drives and Steve still beats him home. Okay? Hold on to your ass, Fred.
Oh, man. Look, I know. If they win tonight, though, and we get to drive to Evansville, we'll race. I mean, shoot.
Y'all could race them.
Well, that's the bus versus Tokyo Drift. That's not even fair. I mean, that's Tokyo Drift all day long.
Trust me, though. We had a bus driver for Huntsville High in the regionals. He would give Steve a run for his money because I almost got whiplash 3 times.
Oh, don't forget, SportsMed is the official training provider of the UAH Chargers. Give them a call today. Don't forget, they do have that Saturday sports clinic at 4715 Whitesburg Drive. It's SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center dedicated to providing care that improves lives. Let's get a break in. Your phone call's next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Our newest wreck's on 31 in Morgan County at Longhorn Pass. That one reported with possible entrapment. Apparently nobody hurt. They were sending fire because of the entrapment. And we had a city vehicle involved in a wreck at Governor's in Governor's Bend. They may still be trying to get that one clear. Popeye's Shrimp Tackle Box has 8 of the crispy Louisiana seasoned butterfly shrimp. With a signature side and a buttermilk biscuit, it's only $6. Popeye's University in Jordan, 72 in Jeff and North Parkway. Captain Nick in the Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
We love our pets, and when we need boarding or vet services, we want the best. That's why we chose Paradise Pet Resort and Spa. Everything our pets needed, all in one place. Boarding for both dogs and cats. doggy daycare, grooming and spa services, web cameras, and top-notch vet care, too. It's a true Paradise Pet Resort for your furry friends, serving all of North Alabama. Find out everything you need to know and book services online at ParadisePetResortAndSpa.com. Located in Madison, just off 565 at Walt Triana, behind Cracker Barrel.
Our zone deal this week is truly an award winner. Metro Diner, serving up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest priced mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. This Friday, you can get $50 worth of great Metro Diner food for half price, just $25 with our zone deal. Just log on 977ESPN.com Friday morning at 8 to get yours. If you're looking for a place where you can find your rhythm and feed your rhythm, then Rhythm on Monroe might be your happy place. Rhythm blends great drinks, cuisine, and live rhythms from local artists throughout the week. Like and follow our Facebook page to see specials in the weekly live entertainment schedule by local entertainers, such as Josh Allison, Preston Watts, Mike Roberts, Connor McMurray, Noel Webster, Ingrid Marie, and others. Open daily at 4 with brunch served on Saturdays and Sundays. Reservations available at rhythmonmonroe.com. Parking at the Von Braun Center is discounted when you provide your receipt at Rhythm on Monroe. The Huntsville Sports Commission is responsible for bringing high-level sports entertainment to the Rocket City. In 2023, enjoy events like the CCSA Beach Volleyball Championships, Hometown Lenders Championship, UCI Paracycling Road World Cup, and so much more. To learn more about upcoming events and the Huntsville Sports Commission, visit huntsvillesports.com. The Huntsville Sports Commission. We do sports.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 256-576-4977. That's the number 2. The phone lines, if you would like to join the program on this, what is today? Tuesday morning. And that is just what Bama Bino is doing with us on a Tuesday. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. Another great show. Hilarious. I love the first half. I tried to call in, had some technical difficulties, but I was going to, after Brandon called, I'll always love hearing from Brandon.
Yeah.
Legitimately, and it always gives me a chance to say, let's go, Brandon. But, y'all were talking about the load management. I think this whole country's been ran on load management from a good while, and we see what it does. So I guess they get together and they just like doing load management. But anyway,
that's a nice way of putting everything into, without having to say a bunch of bad stuff. We
or
just
you could
say
just
load
say
management.
loading piles of manure in states like California.
Yeah, and the bank's collapsing. Everybody just can't even make it up the steps to the plane. I mean, come on. But anyway, are you going to get to go see your homeboys play, Scott?
UAH? No.
No, he's talking about Iowa.
Oh, Iowa, yeah. You know what? So my mom sent me a text last night, and she said, "Who are you going to root for?"
Uh-oh.
She goes,
yeah,
"What do you think of
your
Iowa
wife's on the
playing?"
Auburn side, and you're on the Iowa.
Landon is on the Auburn side. Yeah. She goes, "So what are you going?" She goes, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "I don't know." And she goes, "Let me remind you where you grew up." And that's all she put. And so I was like, okay.
Well, I was just always hear you talk about Iowa.
Yeah, no, I will. I mean, I really want Iowa to win that just because, that was my team. I mean, that growing up and everything and going to Iowa games and being a part of all that and then actually getting to work on the TV side, my first job in the business, being there, covering Iowa and all that other stuff and being inside Carver Hawkeye Arena and all the times as a kid. And then, my heart is black and gold. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, Scott doesn't have this year's bench T-shirt for Iowa. He did a couple years ago.
I did a couple years ago, and that was when they played Tennessee.
Yeah.
And we were in Knoxville with the Havoc.
Right.
And Steve and I went to a sports bar, and I wore the Iowa I wore that
and you
into
got
the
dirty
sports
looks
bar.
From a lot of
because I was
Tennessee
cheering.
fans.
I was the only one cheering for Iowa in a room full of volunteers. It was great. They were friendly, though, until we beat them.
Well, maybe Chuck
Darn.
has something to smile about.
I could say something.
It'd be good to have Chuck Grassley have something to smile about because he's up there with.
Oh, Chuck Grassley. He's old. That boy is old.
Yeah. I like him, though. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
But y'all keep the good work up, and we're listening over here on Sand Mountain. And,
thank you for calling back in, Bama Bean. I appreciate it. But,
yeah, thanks, Bama Bean.
I'll just keep my comments to myself about Tennessee. I'm not a big fan.
Anyway, 256.
Let's go, Louisiana.
256-576-4977. That's how you can be a part of the program this morning. The Auburn Tigers, not the Auburn Tigers basketball, but the Auburn Tigers football program still in spring practice. They had a little bit of time off because of spring break, and now they're back at it again. And Hugh Freeze giving us an update here on the Auburn Tigers.
Every year is probably quite different, but I would assume in whatever format they're going to give us that we're probably going to have a couple tough draws. It is what it is. The same thing that I said prior, they love what we're doing. I think they love our approach to coaching them. We're rotating them, giving them all the same equal opportunities. There were some good things, and there were some not so good things. And it's the not so good things. Can we get, more consistent at doing the better things? And 3 practices is really not enough, but I've seen some good things from all 3. Truthfully, the last one, that was a tough one to judge them on because that Friday, that win was it was an issue. It was an issue for throwing the football for sure for everybody. So, but anxious to get back out with them. But love their approach. I've seen some good things for sure from all 3.
There's a little bit of the scheduling thing with the SEC, and then just a quick update there on the quarterbacks there for Auburn as they continue spring practice down on the plains.
Well, I don't know that we'll even get an accurate gauge of the quarterback race in spring. Certainly Ashford's the favorite. Everybody expects Finley to move on after he graduates. I still think that's probably expected. Grenier, he's a freshman, a redshirt freshman. We've never seen him. Let's see what happens after spring and if they add another quarterback, if they're satisfied with Ashford's development as a passer, because I still have doubts about it. I think he's a hell of an athlete, but you got to be able to throw the football consistently. And it's ironic, some of the same questions about Jalen Milroe. Both of them great athletes, but can they throw the ball consistently enough to be the dude? And so with Auburn, I think Alabama, they have the guy. I think it's Ty Simpson. With Auburn, they may not have him on the roster yet because I don't know that TJ Finley fits, what Hugh Freeze wants, because Finley's always turned the ball over. And turning the ball over is disastrous, okay? And Finley is not exactly a great athlete himself as far as mobility goes. So does he fit what Hugh Freeze wants? But, Bo Wallace wasn't a great athlete, so you never know.
All right. 256-576-4977. It is 8:30. Let's get our break in. When we come back, we'll get to your phone calls, plus some more basketball and football conversation coming your way.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon. It is going to look like a beautiful day, but temperatures are going to be well below average. Highs only climbing into the upper 40s and lower 50s. It'll be a cold night across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. You're definitely going to need to bundle up for the Wednesday morning commute. Looks like many of us are going to start the day in the upper 20s and lower 30s. Plenty of sunshine Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. Some of us could see 60 degrees. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Alabama knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
We're going to get Governors in Governor's Bend that may still be trying to clear. That one had a city vehicle involved. And we got one in Morgan County in Decatur, southbound on 31 at Longhorn Pass. That one reported as a no injury, but it also reported entrapment, so they sent fire on it. From routine care to heart failure, Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialist on Bob Wallace Avenue have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
With over 100 F-150s to choose from and available financing as low as 0%, now is the perfect time to put one in your driveway. It's Truck Month at Woody Anderson Ford. Hi, Bobby White back again, inviting you to come on in for the best selection of F-150s we've had in a while. And if you find one that you like, there is no payment for 90 days. Also, during Truck Month, not only do you get 0% financing for up to 36 months, but we've also got 2.9% financing for 5 years on remaining 22 models with your good credit through Ford Motor Credit. This offer ends April 4th. And don't forget, we make it really easy for you to trade in and trade up on a Ford Blue Advantage Gold Certified or Blue Certified pre-owned vehicle. Great warranties, 24-hour roadside assistance, and you take it home with a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Hurry on in for Truck Month. 0% financing, no payments for 90 days, and over 100 F-150s to choose from.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. And we've gotten some messages, since we love to talk food on this show, that it is National Pie Day. But it is not that kind of pie.
Right.
It is the mathematical pie. And
I was never worth 10 cents at that.
On March 14th, okay? Because the day is written as 3/14 in the United States. So if you are really serious, and we have a town full of smart engineers, so they probably all get this. If you celebrate it at exactly 1:59 a.m. or p.m., doesn't matter, okay? You can reach the first 6 numbers of pi, 314159.
I remember 314. I don't remember a damn thing about 159, but I sucked at it. I was terrible. Had to go to summer school to get through that.
It's National Pie Day, just not that kind.
Just being honest here.
I know.
You know.
That's perfectly fine. That
was my dad and my brother were the math people.
But that was it.
Hell, I wasn't. I was more, I could remember stats, but I couldn't remember friggin' geometry. I was in the library.
Oh, I hated geometry.
I hated it.
That's one of the reasons why when you got to college, it was like, okay, I really wanted to be a teacher, but then they told me how much math I had to take to be there. That wasn't happening.
No.
Math was weak. Math was the weakest subject, so I avoided it like the plague.
I hear that.
Now I just read numbers and I look at stat sheets and I try to dissect basketball numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to think a whole lot.
No.
I was the same way with my major in college. I needed only one math credit. It took me 3 times to get it.
Yeah,
there it is.
I almost was there.
Big is not fun.
At Northern Iowa, it was math for practical purposes or something like that.
I had to take a stats 250 class at Alabama, and trust me, I had to go to tutoring to get a C minus. All right.
Hey, you got a C though.
Hell, it was, and I had to work for it. I'm telling you. Oh me.
Math was very weak for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it does not take a genius to figure out contract numbers.
Yeah.
And Damon Stoudemire is going to get a nice contract number
from Georgia Tech
to be the next head coach at Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm. His last game with the Celtics was last night.
Yeah.
He spent some years as a college head coach at Pacific in the Big West, which is a very tough job. But he's a proven NBA player. Was a great, great player for Lute Olson at Arizona. Played a long time in the NBA. He has some ties to Atlanta. They've got to get that started if they want to be back because there's so much talent in the state of Georgia.
I was going to say, is Georgia Tech a sleeping giant in the college basketball world?
And they're still in the ACC.
Yeah.
If
they keep 3 kids home from the state of Georgia every year.
Well, they're top 100 kids.
That's what I'm saying. If they could manage to keep 1 or 2 or even 3 kids home,
and the transfer portal, it could, they could be good again. There's no question about it. They got to get the right coach. Bobby Crimmins was the right coach for many, many years. Lethal Weapon 3 is one of my favorite teams of all time. Thank the Lord they didn't have replay review back then because they wouldn't have made the Final Four because Kenny made a 3 about a tenth of a second late, but still he made it. They gave it to him, and I believe it was 90 that in the UNLV year that they won it all. That Lethal Weapon 3 made it. Kenny was so smooth, and you saw Kenny coach last year, so and then you had Dennis Scott. We had Dennis Scott on this show, one of the great shooters in college basketball and in professional basketball history. Brian Oliver, such an underrated player. I loved watching Bobby Crimmins' teams play back in those days. And Paul Hewitt, as you remember, Scott, I think it was around 2004, he got him to the national championship game. And that's really the last time that we've seen Georgia Tech. Pastner won the ACC tournament a couple years ago, but that was kind of an anomaly there. They have not been a factor. They need to be a factor in recruiting. And what it's going to come down to for Damon Stoudemire is he Jerry Stackhouse, in my opinion, who I've seen Stack now, he can coach, or is he Avery Johnson, who's a great guy, such a great personality, but can't coach his way out of a sandbox? Which one is it?
Are you buying Jerry Stackhouse now?
I am.
This is
after
1
watching
year.
him.
This is after 1 year. Are you buying Jerry Stackhouse?
No, but we saw him last year too.
Right.
He can coach. He's legit. He is absolutely legit. His team is a 2 seed in the NIT. They should have been in the NCAA tournament. If they were in the Big Ten, people would have been Jerry Palm. Those guys have been falling all over him because he's in the SEC and it's still considered a football league. People aren't falling all over.
They didn't have really great early season
success. They didn't.
Though.
But I'm just telling you, you've got to start reevaluating this thing because of the portal. Because teams don't gel until about the middle of conference play. You got to start counting the last 10 to 15 games more. You do. I'm sorry, you just really do. You're otherwise you're blowing it.
All right, so we do have some NFL news to get to. I know. It's not anything related to Aaron Rodgers or anything like that.
Well, we were watching that earlier, though. They sound like they're trying to get Alan Lazard to the Jets so they can get Aaron Rodgers.
The Atlanta Falcons have another quarterback in their room.
I know. but he throws the ball to the other team a lot.
Taylor Heineke.
Taylor
Heineke is headed
or is
to
it
Atlanta.
Heineke? Is it Heineke or Heineke?
I think it's Heineke.
Is it Heineke? Heineke.
It's a deal.
Taylor interception. That's
worth
what I
up
used
to
to call it.
$20 million.
Yeah. He's going to back up Desmond Ridder. They're going to suck.
And Jimmy Garoppolo is headed to the Raiders.
Yeah. That's what I hear. The Raiders' 3-year deal there for Jimmy G. He's going back to one of the guys that drafted him.
Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels, who in another 2 years will be replacing Bill O'Brien for his third tenure as offensive coordinator of the Patriots when he's fired from the Raiders. Just my opinion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I told you there was some football news. That is what we have there. As far as your NFL news. Oh, we do need to congratulate, and we got to get her on the show now because the season's almost over.
Yeah.
But Les Studeman.
Yes.
Over the weekend,
1,200
win number 1,200.
Yeah. You know, we've been featuring Coach Shulman due to Sports Med. We need to,
Yeah.
We need
The
to
Chargers
start.
had a long run. I mean,
Yeah, but it is they're nearing, hopefully getting to the Elite Eight, and then I know they're already probably nearing the halfway point of conference play already in softball for Coach Studeman. We've got to, we need to check in with her. She's got 1,200 wins. Patrick Murphy recently got his 1,200 for Alabama. She's got 1,200 at UAH. She's had such an amazing career. Hunter Royer, our good friend, we need to check in with UAH baseball, thanks to our good friends at Sports Med. So, again, it's
softball's
crazy.
19-4, 8-1
There you go.
in conference play is UAH.
Mm-hmm.
And so their next contest is, I'm going through here to see when their next contest is. They're going to be in Rome, Georgia this weekend. And then they are back home on the 25th of March. So, look, I believe I will be able to be with UAH softball then. I'm going to be on the home games with Les in the dugout. So we'll be back there then. But anyway, let's get our final break in. Let's get your tomorrow's headlines in today when we return.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Got a couple of wrecks they're working to clear. 31 in Longhorn Pad in Decatur. That one had entrapment, but apparently no injury. Governors in Governor's Bend had a city vehicle involved and may still be trying to get it wrapped up. Dr. Sandman has the Somnodent, a safe, insurance-approved alternative for snoring and sleep apnea. Dr. Randall Sandlin, 350-CARE. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhsriserealestate.com.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So instead, we're going to have someone else say it. Because for some reason, when a random person talks about how great something is in a commercial, it's more believable.
I saved with a Progressive home and auto bundle.
And there you have it. I mean, I'm not sure why she's more believable than me, but either way, you get the point about the saving. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Suffering from emotional pain and mental health conditions, Intensive Outpatient Programs, or IOP, is a rich addition to your continued individual therapy. Group members realize they're not alone and that others have similar difficulties. Hearing and sharing different ways to think and cope can be encouraging, empowering, and promote healing. In most cases, treatment is covered by insurance and no doctor referral is needed. Virtual IOP sessions available. Take your first step to wellness by calling 205-999-5247 or log on iopservicesllc.com.
This April, the Corn Ferry Tour returns to the Rocket City for the 2022 Huntsville Championship at the Ledges. Experience the beauty and drama of the Ledges in person as golf's rising stars chase their PGA Tour dreams. From the first man on the green to the roar of the crowd when the final putt drops. Be a part of every moment on the mountain. April 28th to May 1st. Tickets to be a part of the action are on sale now at HuntsvilleChampionship.com.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Time keeps on slipping. Time does keep on slipping into the future. And don't forget, coming up tonight, right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, you will have UAH basketball. Chargers taking on Nova Southeastern. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. You do have the first two games of the first four coming up tonight. Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, Southeast Missouri
That's
State.
Alabama tie there.
That is the first game of the night. That is 5:40.
It starts at 5:40 Central Time.
Yeah. And then at 8:10 you get Pittsburgh and Mississippi State.
Now, what channels are they?
So the first one is on, they're both on True TV.
True TV, okay.
So you got to have True TV.
I've got it, I think. I got to figure that out, but yeah.
And then tomorrow you get the other two first four.
Yeah.
Which will also be on True TV, by the way. Texas Southern and Farley Dickinson. Arizona State and Nevada.
And I actually did see Texas Southern. I watched Samford beat the dog out of them early.
They're below 500. They're 14 and 20.
Johnny Jones is the coach who used to be at LSU.
Of course, they play in the SWAC, so, it really...
I mean, Mike Davis got that rolling at Texas Southern, and Johnny Jones has continued to keep it going.
Where is Mike Davis?
He's at Detroit. His son was trying to break Pistol Pete's record, but didn't.
That's his son?
Yeah, Antoine Davis, yeah.
I did not realize that was his son.
Great player, but But I'm sorry, comparing Pistol Pete to Antoine Davis.
Well, they were expecting to get a bid from the CBI.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't. But it's 14 and whatever the hell they were. It was under 500.
Yeah, the bid never came.
And Davis is a hell of a player, had a hell of a college career. But I'm just telling you, if you're comparing him to Pistol Pete Maravich, that's like a Rolls Royce and a Buick. I'm sorry, he's not Pistol Pete.
Oh,
I mean, if there'd been a 3-point line, nobody would ever have even come close in the stratosphere of Pistol Pete Maravich.
That is true.
I mean, you could argue Maravich is still the greatest college player ever.
All right, 256-576-4977. If you want to come on the show, feel free to do so. We got a couple minutes left for you. Don't forget, you do need to drink
Join the bracket challenge.
Yeah, join the bracket challenge because we want you to be a part of that.
Brandon
Presented
just
by Talent Heating and Air. You get that all-inclusive family membership to Cherokee Ridge. Play a little golf, play a little tennis, play a little swimming. Play a little.
Well, I mean, if Brandon wins it, he could schedule 4 or 5 vacations. Yeah,
he could. So,
I mean, good Lord, the national media would have been all over us 2 or 3 years ago, Scott. We gave a gun away.
Oh man, can you
imagine? The New York Times would have been all over us.
That was one of the best things. It was like, guys, I got a surprise for the basketball tournament. Yeah. Everyone's like, what is it? It's a gun.
I mean,
like, you're giving away a gun, and I was like, yeah, we're giving away a gun. And Wes thought it was all awesome. He's like, that is the greatest prize. Everyone else is like, we're giving away an AK-47.
Hey, you're surprised that you didn't get profiled by the New York Times, Scott.
Oh, Johnny on his cells with us. Good morning, Johnny.
What's up, Johnny?
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
So I'm almost 59. Been playing the bracket challenges forever. This is the first time you can put Bama on the one line and at the end line, and I feel like you're, just blowing away, playing in the wind. I mean, it's an exciting time to be a Bama basketball person. I think this team is the most well-rounded team in America. It has everything you want to win a championship. It's got a great coach, an X's and O's standpoint. It's got depth at the guards. It's got depth at the bigs. They play ferocious defense, and they play a up-tempo offense. Will they win the title? Like I said, it's the first time you can put them as winning the title and not say, well, that's just, a shot in the dark, but, I imagine there'll be a lot of people putting them on that line then. And it's a testimony to what Oates has built there. It's something that I don't know that, I'm hoping that there's a title here. I mean, because like I said, you feel like a Cubs fan if you're a basketball fan. I mean, because you haven't won one since, the GOAT. And you've got the, or you're like the Red Sox before they got rid of the curse of the Bambino. I mean, it's just like, we've run into Billy Donovan's Providence team. We've run into Hank Gather's, team that Loyola Marymount played with a hair on fire. I mean, we've had teams that we thought they could be really, really, really good and not get there. So it takes a lot of luck to get to that final point. But if there's a team ever assembled wearing crimson that can get there, this is our year.
Well, the path is clear to get there. That is for sure. Number 1 seed. I wonder when the brackets, I think there's over 8 million right now ESPN brackets out there. The number keeps going up, but it's over 8 million right now. I wonder how many of those 8 million actually have Alabama winning the whole thing.
I think at one point when it was over 7 million, there was 22% of them. So that's that is an all-time high because, again, like Johnny said, there'd been people pick Alabama to make the Final Four in the past, but this is the first time there are going to be this many. It's the first time you see national analysts picking it. It's the first time you see so many picking Alabama to win it all. So we'll see. Certainly there's no guarantees. They need to take it one game at a time. They'll find out their opponent later tonight. They've been kind of probably having to burn the candle on both ends to see who might win the game and kind of prepare for both teams, but you will know for sure after tonight who you're playing on Thursday in front of what should be a raucous crowd in Birmingham, and you can hopefully put that behind you with everybody doubting you, saying from the standpoint of, well, Alabama doesn't win in Legacy Arena. Well, put that behind you by taking care of business on Thursday, getting to the game on Saturday, and then having a chance to advance to the Sweet 16 and just keep stacking. You can't have a bad game now from the standpoint of there will be no bouncing back from a loss because you got to win 6 in a row. But it's like Coach K used to say. He used to treat it as 3 two-game tournaments. And so you'd have to have 3 good weekends. You know what I'm saying? So if you got to have one good weekend coming up, you got to take care of either Southeast Missouri or Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and then you got to take care of either Maryland or West Virginia. So that's all you focus on. You just focus on the task at hand and playing good basketball and everybody being invested and hopefully it being healthy. Dom Welch certainly healing up from the bruised tailbone. I don't think there was any injury situation with Amari Burnett, and Amari Burnett just had a DNP, kind of like what Noah Gurley had late in the year. But I'm sure they're going to need Amari during this this journey offensively and defensively, so just keep yourself ready.
The Miami Dolphins have added another quarterback. Former Jets quarterback Mike White, 2-year deal worth up to $16 million for the Dolphins.
Yeah, backing up Tua Tagovailoa, that's Tua's biggest issue is injuries. They've also traded for Jalen Ramsey, certainly a Pro Bowl level corner. They've signed some other defensive pieces. They've got Vic Fangio as their DC. They need to step it up and win. They need to contend. The Patriots are going through, right now they've been reconfiguring under Mac Jones. There's no more Tom Brady. Buffalo seems to be the favorite in the division, but now the Jets could have Aaron Rodgers, so it's going to be difficult, and the Dolphins need to win now.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for our Tuesday edition. Don't forget, UAH basketball coming up later tonight.
Great opportunity. Let's go Chargers.
Go punk them, as Coach Shulman always says. That's what he tells them.
Channel your inner Leitner and Duke.
Every team can be beat.
Yes. As Kristen used to say, even the best team in the world can be beaten on any given day.
Except for the Dream Team. They were not beatable.
Yeah, but Rodney Rogers, you don't need to be telling Larry Bird he can't shoot. That's just stupid.
Oh, come on. LeBron James can outshoot Larry Bird.
LeBron James couldn't outplay Larry Bird on his best day.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof, not